Hello, my name is Bob Willis and welcome to Book Review. Periodically I take the opportunity of reviewing new textbooks in the industry which I think may be of interest to you as process engineers and certainly are interesting to me. A brand new textbook that's just recently been introduced is Mitigating Tin Whisker Risks, and this is a publication brought out by Willis Press. Now this particular publication literally goes right across the board, covering what a tin whisker is, how it's formed, or the theories behind how it's formed, ways in which you can reduce the possibility of whiskers being seen in your product and ultimately causing a process failure or a product failure. It then gives you guidance on what other engineers have seen as advantage and disadvantage of some of those mitigating techniques, and of course highlighting the risks on your particular product. Now, this is a good book. It's the newest book on the particular technology and draws in information from many researchers and practicing engineers within the industry. I guess my only criticism would be there is very little or perhaps no reference to NPL and some of the work that we've done on tin whiskers. And it's fair to say that we've had and published a lot of data and of course run many webinars on the subject. But it's a useful book. It's certainly the newest book that's available, so it's worth looking up in your library. Now the next book is really a classic. The Printed Circuit Handbook is now in its 7th edition, and I've reviewed 2 other editions prior to this. It is the industry standard in terms of printed circuit board manufacture, and in the last couple of editions it's introduced component assembly as well. Now this particular publication is nearly 2,000 pages, it has multiple authors, and it's been put together by Clyde Coombs Jr., who was the original editor of this publication, and he's been assisted by Happy Holder. Now these two gentlemen together obviously can create something truly unique, and there's no question this book is the Bible of printed circuit board manufacture, covering both materials, processes, quality control, everything to do with printed circuit board manufacture. It also covers, as I've suggested, the assembly side. Now I kind of think this is slightly weaker in this particular book and possibly in the previous versions. The reason being there's a lot of information not really covered on the assembly side, certainly the new innovations. And I'm not talking about new innovations that happened 2 or 3 or even a couple of years ago, but something that's been around in the industry, or things that have been around in the industry, or trends in the industry that have been there for the last 5 or 6 or maybe even 10 years during the introduction of lead-free technology. Is it a good book to buy? Absolutely. Is it worth updating from your previous version, version 6? Absolutely. And remember, it's a pretty thick book. It really is a doorstop, but it's a very good reference source for any engineer involved in printed circuit board or assembly.